In the dazzling city of Dubai, where wealth flows like rivers of gold, there lives a man whose empire touches the sky, Ahmed Al-Fahad, an Arab millionaire known for his cold business persona and unrivaled success. To the world, he's the epitome of power and luxury, a man who's crafted his empire with iron will. But beneath the surface, he is a man alone, driven only by ambition. Enter Leila, a young maid from a humble background, hired to care for his mansion and serve the needs of a life untouched by her own. But in this world of untold wealth, sometimes the most unexpected connections are the ones that change everything. The story begins amidst the shimmering wealth of Dubai, where gold and opulence are in abundance. Ahmed Al-Fahad, an Arab millionaire with unparalleled business acumen, is accustomed to the comforts of his lavish lifestyle. But within the grand walls of his estate, something and someone unexpected catches his attention. Leila, a young maid from a modest background, is one of the latest additions to his household staff. She is quiet, humble, and dedicated to her work, always moving with precision and grace among the silken walls of his home. To Ahmed, she is nothing more than a shadow in the corners of his perfectly ordered life, a face among many, to be barely noticed or thought about. For Leila, life in the mansion is a distant dream, a mere stepping stone to something better. Every day she works tirelessly, driven by the simple hope of sending money back to her family and escaping a life of hardship. She is careful, cautious, understanding her role all too well. Her place is to serve, not to be seen, and certainly not to matter in the world of men like Ahmed. But what begins as a simple passing acknowledgement in the vastness of his mansion will soon unravel into something neither of them saw coming. A slow-burning, invisible thread between them that begins to grow stronger with every passing day. Days stretch into weeks, and with each passing moment, their paths begin to cross in ways both subtle and electric. At first, it's nothing but routine. Leila serving Ahmed's breakfast, a brief exchange of words here and there, with neither fully noticing the change that's unfolding beneath the surface. Then comes the moment that shifts everything. When Ahmed, troubled by something outside of his control, suddenly finds himself in the hallway, unsure, alone with his thoughts. And there, in the quiet of the mansion, it's Leila who notices him. Without a word, she offers a drink, a gesture so simple yet so tender in its thoughtfulness. It's that very moment that things start to change, and neither of them knows it yet. Leila, ever practical, tries to dismiss the unexpected connection growing between them, but she can't help but notice the way his eyes linger, the softness in his voice when he asks her about her life. Small, human questions that she hasn't been asked before. Despite her best efforts to maintain the barrier between them, there's something undeniably different in the way he looks at her. The way his presence in the room becomes a little more than just a passing glance. Ahmed, meanwhile, is torn. The man who once viewed everything through the lens of profit and strategy is now caught in a whirlwind of emotions he doesn't understand. He can't quite explain it. This feeling creeping under his skin, pulling him in deeper, even as the logical part of his mind rebels against it. But it's undeniable. Leila is unlike anyone he's ever met. She's not just a maid, not just someone to be ordered around. She's real, raw, and, most dangerously, compelling. And as these stolen moments begin to stack up, there's a growing tension between them, an unspoken bond that neither knows how to acknowledge, but both know exists. Voiceover. But all good things come with a price, and when the connection between Ahmed and Leila can no longer be concealed, the weight of the consequences begins to take its toll. At first, it's only whispered rumors, hushed tones in the corners of the house, barely heard, but still undeniable. The staff exchange glances, and the servants' gossip grows bolder. Did you see how he looked at her? She wasn't just another maid last night, was she? In the world of wealth and power, appearances are everything. And this was a scandal waiting to explode. Soon, their whispers reached the ears of Ahmed's family, his mother, his brother, his business partners, people who demand much more from him than his heart's desires. To them, the idea that Ahmed, the man with the world at his feet, would fall for someone of such humble stature is not just a personal failure, it's a disgrace, a stain on the family name. They insist, beg almost, that he end the infatuation before it destroys everything they've built. The pressure is suffocating. With every confrontation, with every phone call from his demanding relatives, the walls seem to close in on Ahmed. He finds himself torn between the world he's known, his reputation, his wealth, and the undeniable feelings he's developing for someone like Leila. The love he begins to feel for her isn't something that can simply be suppressed. But neither can he ignore the weight of his family's wrath or his business obligations. And for Leila, it's even worse. Once an outsider, she now becomes the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. The whispers grow darker, more judgmental, filled with disdain. She's the maid. She doesn't belong in his world. Her very presence is now seen as a threat, a complication that risks the stability and future of everything Ahmed has worked for. Fearing for both their futures, Leila takes the only step she believes she can. She runs. The weight of public judgment becomes too much to bear, and her heart is breaking with the idea that she might be losing everything she's started to dream of. She chooses to disappear, thinking it's the only way to protect them both. But as she walks away, Ahmed is left with a hollow realization. He may have just lost the one thing worth more than all the riches in the world. But sometimes, the heart doesn't listen to logic. Sometimes, when you've caught a glimpse of what could be, everything else feels irrelevant. For Ahmed, the absence of Leila is like a wound that won't heal. The days stretch on, each more unbearable than the last. Wealth, power, business, none of it means a thing without her. In the cold expanse of his mansion, everything feels hollow. No amount of luxury or success can fill the void she left behind. He is trapped in a nightmare of his own making, where his family's expectations, the weight of societal norms, and the crushing silence left by Leila's departure suffocate him. He knows he can't live without her. He has to find her. He can't let fear or pride or expectations dictate the path his life must take. But where is she? He searches for her everywhere. The places they once shared brief moments, the quiet corners of the city, through friends, connections, and whispers. The rich and powerful world he built has left him isolated, with no answers, no clear way forward. Then, one fateful night, when all seems lost, he finds her. Not by chance, but by purpose. In a small neighborhood far from the grandeur of his estate, there she is, Leila, standing quietly under the dim streetlight. The world around her has no interest in her story. To them, she's just a passing face. But to Ahmed, this is everything. With trembling hands and a heart that won't stop racing, Ahmed steps forward. He calls her name. It's the first time he's felt this exposed, this vulnerable. Because this is no longer about riches or appearances. This is about something deeper, something rawer than anything he's known. Leila, startled, turns around, disbelief and fear written on her face. What is he doing here? She never expected him to come for her, never imagined he would risk everything he's worked for just to find her. I couldn't live without you, Ahmed admits, his voice barely above a whisper, yet firm, as though each word he speaks is tearing him open. I don't care about anything else. I only care about you. And there it is. No masks, no titles, no wealth. Just two people standing in a moment, deciding that love is worth more than all the material things they've ever known. But even now, things are not easy. There are no guarantees, no promises from the world. Just the fierce, unyielding truth of what they feel for each other. And despite the fears and doubts swirling around them, they know they can't walk away. Not anymore. Ahmed, now more certain than ever, makes his declaration, a promise to Leila and to himself. I will fight for you. I will fight for us. The battle is far from over. Even as the dust of their reunion settles, the stakes remain high. Ahmed has found Leila, but the world around them hasn't changed. The relentless whispers of society, the disapproving glances from his family, and the pressure to uphold the family name weigh heavily on his shoulders. His family, already furious at the very idea of him choosing love over legacy, only tightens their grip. They want him back in their fold, to marry as expected, to regain control over the empire he's built. Yet, Ahmed can no longer ignore the truth in his heart. Leila is his future. Leila, on the other hand, still doubts. Can a love like theirs really last in the world they inhabit? How can they move forward when the shadows of class divide, wealth, and family legacy threaten their every step? But with unwavering determination, Ahmed confronts it all. He steps into the room with his family, his mother, his brother, and all those who demand conformity. And he doesn't falter. I love Leila, he says. I won't hide it anymore. And if you can't accept her, then maybe you're not the family I thought you were. For the first time, he realizes that the greatest power he has isn't in his wealth, but in his willingness to stand by what he truly believes. He's done living for their expectations. He's done living for their approval. He's ready to live for love. And then, a dramatic moment. A pivotal decision to step out of the old life that once defined him and move into a new future with Leila by his side. The mansion isn't where his heart lies. It's in the simple moments with her, the moments that matter most. As they stand together, defying the world's norms, Leila's doubts start to fade. She knows the journey ahead won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The journey of love between Ahmed and Leila has come full circle. They are no longer confined by the rules set by wealth, class, or legacy. Their story is no longer about what divides them, but about what brings them together. Courage, trust, and the belief that love itself is more powerful than any barrier the world can place between them. Together, they create a future that is built not on gold or social status, but on the shared values of respect, understanding, and, above all, love. As the world watches, skeptics and critics at every turn, Ahmed and Leila hold fast to their truth, refusing to bend. Their story proves that love is not bound by what you're born into, but by the decisions you make along the way. And with those decisions, they reshape their destinies. In the end, Ahmed realizes that true wealth is found in the heart. The love he never thought he deserved is the one thing he can't live without. And Leila, once a maid in his world of extravagance, is now his equal, his partner, and the one he will stand beside, no matter the challenges ahead. In a world that tries to define them, They define themselves, and they walk forward, hand in hand, into a new chapter, knowing that together they are unstoppable.